Okay, Bruce, you're one of my most trustworthy friends, and even I know your views on Sasquatch, and uh, so I know what to trust and what not to trust out of anything people say. And so, my question to you, knowing that you have had the encounters, especially in North Idaho, I'm asking you what you think a Sasquatch is and whether or not you think that it's a spiritual being.
Well, that's a good question because I never really thought of them as spiritual beings. And like it took 13 years before they make themselves into my camp. And after 13 years, they started coming in and messing with the fire and sitting around the fire. And I could look out the window and see them. But I never really paid much attention because I was in the gold and I wasn't up there for the Bigfoot. But then I moved away. My dad died, and I couldn't go up there by myself. It took 3 years before I could go up there and camp out. And they every time I go up there and camp out, they're there. You know, they're there.
But
And
wouldn't you know the difference between like whether or not they were meeting you in your spiritual concerns, or mostly everything you said that you guys encountered was physical, like rocks being thrown?
yeah, they throw rocks and mainly rocks. They threw at us.
So they didn't bring fearful thoughts or mess with you mentally or anything like that?
You know.
There was no like telepathies or
Well,
mind
it might
speaking
have been a
things?
telepathy type thing. You know, might have, you know, I'm just not, I was not, I wasn't afraid of it.
No,
I
I'm
always feared
saying
if something
what
got
I'm
me.
saying is there was like no attempt to communication through telepathies or anything like that, or they appeared and then all of a sudden disappeared, things like that. You know,
No,
it was purely a physical thing in those woods at night.
yeah,
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 but they mostly came to you guys at night, right?
yeah,
Okay.
it was dark. Well, there was
So,
a couple of times they, like, knocked a, threw a rock at a crow that was in a tree, and that was a daytime adventure.
through
They
rock, what?
threw a rock from over here, and there's a road here, and there was a hawk up in the tree, and bam, he nailed that fucking crow, and he fell down right next to the road. And I just like, okay, go ahead and get it, retrieve it. You caught it, you know, and I went about my business.
So that's a hunting thing right there.
Yeah,
That's
it
not
was hunting.
that's not something that's a spiritual attack or anything. That's
No,
that's purely physical.
yeah,
And most everything that you encountered was pretty much purely physical, right?
yeah,
Okay. So that's kind of how it is for me too. And I think we're probably pretty much in agreement on that particular aspect.
yeah. Everybody says this about their spiritual, and I don't know if they're Nephilim. I don't know any of that.
But for 25 years, you experienced activity by these beings that they call Sasquatch, and this is deep in the woods of North Idaho.
Well,
That's correct?
I've had encounters during the day, like when me and my cousin Mike and his two boys are sitting on a log across the creek canyon, across the creek because the creek washed out, and we noticed four black objects climbing up a clear cut area, clear cut it. And so I looked through the binocs and I go, Mike, look through the binocs. And we shared the binocs and we watched them climb up. And then, hey, you up there! And they heard it. from the echo, and they all four turned, got beside something, squatted down, and looked at us. And we watched them for 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. And they were apes, gorilla. Like, look at.
Yeah, that's a common description of what people compare to out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Bruce. Well, thank you. This is Chewie the Sam Squancher, and I am interviewing with Bruce from Chewie Bigfoot Research Team, a well-trusted Bigfoot researcher, and my partner also in Chewie Sasquatch Research Team.